You guys can debate me as much as you want on this topic, but I'm still gonna stick with my guns. There's no possible way that you can lay an off the gun finish that is completely dead flat. And thanks again for joining me on this episode. My name is Brian and welcome to Paint Society. Today I'm gonna talk to you about something that as a YouTuber and as many other YouTubers we have done and possibly have fooled you, is that there is no such thing as no orange peel finish off the gun. And understand, we use those words, no orange peel, to get more views. That's just how it is. But the fact is, all cars have some sort of orange peel and it is needed to replicate the factory finish. But hold it right there. We're not talking about orange peel that you can actually feel, but a smooth ripple texture that matches the OEM factory. So today in this episode, I'm gonna show you why it's so important to match the factory finish and why you should not be spraying your panels better than the rest of the car. And today's episode brings us a 2026 TX with the smallest of chips with a little bit of primer here, and the rest of this has been scuffed with an 800 grit. And one of the ways I'm able to keep that same texture in the finish is by using these 3M sanding discs. These are the newer ones out. Now this is the 800 grit and it's a soft foam backing pad, and what it does is it just really goes over the surface, and you can see that that peel really is still kind of in there. So when we go over it with the clear, it just highlights over it. I'm gonna take you on this journey as I clean and paint this vehicle, and we're gonna debate it and we're gonna talk about it. Now I've been to SEMA and I know that when I see a dead flat paint job, I know it's been sanded and polished. And I've also seen paint jobs where they stack their coats, literally about 5 or 6 coats with maybe about half hour to 45 minutes in between those coats. And some of those jobs start to get a little bit wonky looking. See, you'll never really get it dead flat, and if you get it dead flat right after you sprayed it, odds are it's gonna die back on you and it's gonna solvent pop. Now the first step in getting any paint job nice and clean so you can retain that factory finish is use your water-based cleaner. I like to use this first before we move into the solvent. See, the big problem with some painters is they'll paint the panel, it'll be completely dirty, so they gotta cut the whole thing down, polish it up, and then the panel's right next to it, well, they got the factory peel in it, and this one's dead flat. It makes no sense. It sticks out just as much as a bad color match. After that, we'll use some solvent cleaner, and we like to get it nice and wet, and then we can wipe it clean. This is very important. This is gonna remove any sort of contaminants, fish eyes, or anything like that, but it's not limited to just that. Contamination can come from anywhere. It can come from your environment, it can come from your airline. This is just one way to help eliminate the surface contamination that might already be on the panel. So make sure you take your time to get your panels nice and clean and do your best to wipe it in one direction. This really helps to keep the contamination at bay. Now I left this car unmasked because I wanted to show you that although this looks like complete dead flat glass, there is a ripple if you look at the light in every single paint job, and this is exactly what we need to replicate. And you can catch it more in some lights better than others. We're back here, it's all masked up. The key is getting a clean finish. Now the proper way, again, we clean the panel, not necessary, but in a collision world, let's take whatever we can. What is that I just used? It's an anti-static gun. It takes away any of the static that's on the panel, takes away that lint that might cling to it last second, gives us a cleaner job, or at least an opportunity for a cleaner job. All right, so what I like to do personally is I go ahead and I'll destatic it, I'll wipe it, and then one last time I'll come over it just to destatic it, just in case I built up any static from that tack rag. So just going over just a little bit more just to make sure it's nice and clean. Now the next step I'm going to use is the blending additive, and I like to use it first on the whole entire panel because it helps the metallics. Yes, this is like a fine black metallic pearl, land nice and smooth. Again, if you don't use it, there's no rewards for not using it. So use what's going to help you. Around 17, 18 PSI. And we're gonna lay it on with no dry spots. We wanna make sure it's going on, and this is gonna make the panel darker, and it's gonna show you exactly where my primer spot is, and I'm gonna show you here in one moment exactly where we're going to fix because it might not have been obvious at first. And after we lay that down, we can see that little primer area. Now, usually, typically, we would blend the adjacent panel, but we've got a good color match in 223. We shouldn't have any issues from here to here. Now, what we're gonna do here is allow this to dry a good 5 minutes. It's pretty hot in the booth here. We've got the heat going, and then we're gonna start to blend this, probably just 1.5 coats. And here we are 5 minutes later, and this is our area. We're gonna cover it first. All right, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna blend it out just a little bit, just like this. Very easy. This is extra slow reducer, and that's it. And we're gonna see how this dries. Obviously, we're gonna have some paint close to the edge here, but we know we got a good color match, so we should match no problem. At the very least, from here to here, we'll have a nice match, and here you probably won't even notice if it's just a touch off. So at any rate, what we do now is we let it dry. So you guys know I've been battling 2 herniated discs really bad in my back, so bad to the fact that I've had to take a week off of work, and I've been debilitated and mentally as well. Well, just a week ago, I started to get some relief for the first time. Little by little, about 10% better each day. I am not completely healed. I'm still having a lot of numbness and tingling in the arm, and I did go see a surgeon. And of course, the surgeon wants to book surgery right away. He says it is not the worst he's seen. It's not a right away surgery, and it's definitely not an ignorable situation. But as a surgeon, they're there to do surgery. What they want to do is go in through the middle of the neck, around here, make a slit, and they're going to open it up. They're going to cut away the nerve so that it's not herniating anymore. And they're going to make that nice passageway. And then they want to take some titanium disc and connect 2 of the, I guess, I don't know, vertebrae would be the right words to use, or discs together to make 1. So we're not going to do that. We are going to try first to naturally heal. The surgery that they want to perform is the ACDF. Right now, I want to try some physical therapy. I don't think the epidural steroids helped any, to be honest. I just think I'm just getting back to normal. So I'm going to try some regular therapy, and I'm also taking some turmeric. Started some turmeric in the mornings to help with some inflammation, and we're going to go from there. And a lot of you guys reached out and concerned about me. I'm in a little bit of pain every day, but I'm doing much better, so thank you very much. Now, with that said, I'm talking about 5 minutes or so. Let's go back into the booth and see what it looks like. You can see here, it is completely flashed off. That means it doesn't have any sort of gloss to it, but I want to check with the light off to make sure that we are good to go before we clear it. And with the light off, we can tell, hey, are we good, or does it need another coat? And again, less is more, and from what I'm seeing, that's good enough to leave alone. The color from here to here looks great. Let's give it another about 5 or so minutes. We'll tack her off, and then we'll go ahead and we'll clear coat it, and we'll show you why dead flat doesn't matter. Gave it 15 minutes, we're ready for clear coat. Now, I'm gonna take my tack rag. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove any of the overspray, and there might not be really any on the surface. Let's go ahead and take a look at this tack rag when we're done and see if we removed any of the overspray. Barely really any. Then from there, we'll take our anti-static gun. This is the Ion Star. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and tell you there's some special setting for my spray gun to get it to look like the factory finish. Just by scuffing it up the way I did, that's what really helps it kind of sink into what's already there. So what I'm going to do is just my regular settings, which is my fan about 1/4 of a turn in, maybe a little bit more, and I have my fluid wide open, and I have my pressure set at 26. Now, one thing I do when I clear is I usually always move from the bottom up. That way I can see my wet edge. So as I'm moving along, I can get it covered as much as possible, but I don't really soak on the first coat, and I really don't go too much to the edge because I don't want to build that up either. Let me show you. So I'll start here at the bottom, and I just want to get my clear coat on. Now, if you pay special attention, I'm not going past the edge, and I'm not stopping on the edge. So I'm just barely stopping right before it. This atomizes so fine the finish that it really does the work for you. See how I'm coming in here and I'm just stopping almost. You'll see at the edges, they won't really have too much clear on them, but on that second coat when I come over it, it'll be perfect. And on this top section is where you'll really see if that finish matches or not because of the way the light hits it. So I'm keeping it about 5 inches from the surface and I'm letting the gun do the work. And then that's it. I just step back and I look away and let's take a look at it. You shouldn't have high expectations for your first coat. And again, this is not dead flat. Let me show you. If you look at the light, you see a little bit of that texture in there, and that's what we want, okay? It's sinking into what's already there, all right? A dead flat panel here would stick out like a sore thumb. You don't want to spray them dead flat. See here how it's already starting to go into that finish? Okay, look closely. It needs a little bit more flattening out, but it's almost there. What you don't want to have is a big dry spot in the middle of the door or anywhere. A big dry spot would mean there's not enough clear coat on the actual panel. Now here it's a little bit dry on the edge, and that's fine because we don't want to build up this edge. On that second coat, we can come over it and it'll complete that edge nice and smooth. I want to give it about a good 5 to 6 minutes to go ahead and flash off since this clear operates a little bit quicker. So we're going to start here at the bottom and work up again. At 26 psi, we're not going to change anything. The only difference on this coat is that we are going to go and extend it past our edges so that our edges are nice and smooth. With this spray gun, I can be about maybe 6.5 inches away from the panel and it will still atomize it so fine and so smooth. And that's what I really love about the Series 2. Now, as I'm moving along, I'm checking the finish because I cannot have any dry spots right now. If I do, I need to come back and I need to make sure that they're all nice and smooth. And one thing I gotta be careful about is those Lexus sharp body lines. They're the sharpest in the industry and paint will run right off the edge of those, so be very, very careful. Perfect. I'm going to leave it just like this, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get low, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I do this in all my videos. Every time I'm going to get low, and I'm going to look, and I got a huge dry spray area right here. Let me show you. You wouldn't have known that unless you get low and look. Look at that. Holy cow. Dry. But look at this. Wet. You gotta look at your cars upside down, guys. That's the only way. Now it's fortunate because you can get it right now after you sprayed it. And you probably have about a maybe 3 or 4 minute window to come back in here and to put some clear coat just to make sure it will all melt in and mesh in without creating like a dry spot. And that's it. Perfect. So now again, I'm gonna come low, I'm gonna look, and I'm gonna inspect, and I'm gonna also know that some areas might look a little weird, but I also know that they're gonna smooth out here in a good few minutes. So let's ignore those areas because you don't wanna add clear. What ends up happening is you smooth it out too much and it doesn't match the finish. All right, I think that's good enough here. Let's let this sit and we're gonna come back to it. Here she is, guys, after 10 minutes. Dead flat, looks like it, right? That's what a lot of people will tell you and try to show you. That's not what we want in the collision world. We want a finish that matches the factory. Although it's gonna be hard to tell, there is that beautiful finish that matches the rest of the vehicle and exactly what we want. So what are we gonna do from here? Well, we're gonna let it dry. We're gonna come back in the morning. I'm gonna unmask this guy and I'm gonna show you the true finish that you're gonna need if you're working in the collision world, how to get the perfect color match and how to do the best possible OEM replication. All you gotta do is scuff it down and not flatten out the panel. It's as easy as that, guys. So I'll go ahead and get my guns all cleaned out and I'll see you guys in the morning. And we're back here the next morning and it's completely dry and look, no runs. So let's go ahead and get this unmasked and let's show you how we match that orange peel to the front and to the back door. And after it's all unmasked, let's take a look and see how the texture matches and why it's so important. If you're looking at it from this angle, you can see that there's a texture in the light. And if you follow the light consistent all the way through, you'll see that there's really no change at all between the painted portion and the unpainted portion. And this is exactly why you want to do this for undetectable repair, especially if you come here towards even the smallest of areas. You can see the transition between the painted and the unpainted. You're gonna have the same exact transition. Now you have just a touch more clarity on what has just been painted, but the other panels can be buffed just a little bit to kind of shine them up. Remember, this is brand new paint, and this has probably been painted for at least a few months now coming out of the factory. So if you take a look at there's actually no transition at all. Looking down the side of the car, you'll see that the orange peel is consistent all the way through. And that's why it's so important not to make sure that when you paint, you don't paint dead flat, because you want to make this panel look not only the same as color, but texture as well when it comes to matching paint. And that's just some of the things that painters just don't think about. They want to get the color on and they want to say, hey, my work looks better than what's actually on the vehicle. And that's not what you want. You don't want your work to stand out. Remember, you're a collision painter and you're returning a car to pre-accident condition. And this is just one of the ways that you can do it. Guys, this is Brian from Paint Society reminding you, don't overthink it. It's just paint. I'll see you guys on the next episode.